शंकरमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम ह्रीं नमः शिवाय। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ओम ह्रीं नमः शिवाय। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ओम ह्रीं नमः शिवाय। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। So mantra number 5, Anuvak number 11. ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासक्कभर्तिनः ये अन्नेषु विविध्यन्ते पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान्. So 5, 6 and 7, 3 mantras are there. So the first one is called Ye Vrikshaha, Vriksheshu. So Vrikshaha means trees. So those who are in the trees. So here we talk about, see, the Rudras, when you say, there are many devatas who are in different parts of the aspects of the world, the universe. So some are in trees, some are in grass, some are in food, some are in rain. So here the worship is for the devatas who are in sitting in the trees. And the trees are also Bhagavan. They are also worshipped as Bhagavan. In yesterday's class, I told you the concept of Ishvara also. Like the concept of Ishvara is to see Bhagavan in everything. Every object, living and non-living object, is Bhagavan. So we do not have any distinction between whether it is a stone or it is a paper, or it is a human being, or donkey, or a monkey, or spider. We see everybody as Bhagavan Srishti, and we respect them for what they are. So they have their own living, their own karmas, and they live their karmas according to what they are ordained for. And we live our karmas based on what we are ordained for. So the Bhagavan Rudraha is equal to everybody. So here also he says, E Vriksheshu. And Saspinjaraha. Saspinjaraha means tender grass. So from the tree to the tender grass. So the tree can be as tall from the tree, and all the aspects of the tree, the flowers, the branches, the fruits, the leaves, etc. To Saspinjaraha means those who are having a color of tender grass. Tender grass is supposed to be very, very greenish in color. Tender grass. If it's new grass coming up, right, offshoot of grass, you will see it's very greenish in color. Later on, it can become to the sun, etc. It can become a bit off color. So Saspinjaraha. Then Nilagrivaha Vilohitaha. So this Nilagrivaha coming again and again. So Nilagrivaha means the blue necked. And Vilohitaha means the one who is red in color. So all these things are Saguna or Saguna Brahma Upasana. When you say they are worshipped as the attributes of the Bhagavan. So Ishvara is seen here as with attributes. Whereas in reality, Ishvara is without attributes. So for a person who is a Saguna Brahma Upasaka, the one who cannot contemplate on the Ishvara without attributes, then for such a person, this is recommended. So there's nothing wrong in worshipping or having a vision of the Bhagavan with attributes. It is better than not having anything at all. You are better off having something, some worship, doing a puja, whatever it is there, instead of having nothing. So from this aspect of Saguna Brahma only, you can go to Nirguna Brahma. You cannot directly go to Nirguna Brahma at all. You just cannot. It is not possible. You can try it. It is not possible. Because one has to understand what is Sagunam and then understand how the Sagunam is resolved in Nirgunam. So you need to know both. So first you always see Sagunam. Then from Sagunam you arrive at the Nirgunam. You directly don't arrive at Brahman at all, at consciousness. You see the world, you see the universe, you see the different aspects of it. You understand that this universe is non-separate from me, and then that's how you arrive at the truth. You directly don't come to the truth directly. So every Advaiti also sees Dvaitam to some extent, but then the Dvaiti stops there, and Advaiti just takes one step ahead, saying that this is only not an absolute reality, it is just relative reality. Same way here also. The word Vriksheshuhu and Saspinjara, they both denote the presence of the Rudras in the trees, in the leaves, in the fruits, in the bark, and everything the tree has got, and also present in the tender grass which is there. So it gives a range of all those things which is in between there, the tree to the grass, everything is there. And who is present this Bhagavan is present as the blue-necked Lord, Nilagrivaha, and the one who is also shining as red, which is the Vilohitaha. So Vilohitaha, red, talks about the Shakti aspect or the Uma Sahitam. So the red stands for the power, and the Nilagriva stands for the blue-necked Lord or the Shiva. So Shiva, Shakti is worshipped together, and it is present in all these trees and the tender grass. That is how you see it. So you never worship Shiva alone, you always worship Shiva with Shakti. Shakti illale Shivam illai, we say na. It's the truth also. Na? In our own home also, without Shakti, there is nothing there for you. You have no Shakti without Shakti. So Shakti is important. Right. The same next one. Ye bhutanam adipatayo vishikasakka bhaktinaha. So these, ye bhutanam. So bhutaha means all the living beings. Bhutanam adipatihi. Adipatihi means what? Pati itself means the Lord. And adipatihi means Lord of the Lords. So the living beings who are there, Rudras are there, they are the presiding deities who are there. They call Adipati. So all the beings which are there, they have their own deities. So a spider will have its own deity will be there, or a human being will have its own deities will be there. What it means, particular phenomenon, what is there, has a deity. If you look at the wind has got a deity. Presiding deity is Vayu. So Akashaha. So all of them has got its own deities. The rain has got Varuna Bhagavan. And then Indra is the king of all the devatas. So it's a presiding deity over the deities. So Adipatihi. So there are individual deities who are responsible for the particular phenomenon or the manifestation of the particular species. And they are all Rudras here. And those Rudras are actually governed by another Adipati. So to them also my worship goes. So Ye Bhutana Adipatayo Vishikasa Kabartinaha. So Vishikasaha, it means there are devatas who have got no hair on the head. There are devatas who has got matted hair on the head. They have got Kridam Kundalam on the head. So Vishikasaha Kabardinaha. Kabardinaha means the matted hair or the matted locks. So he just introduces here saying that these Rudras are present in all different types of forms. They are present as the one with hair and without hair, with matted hair, without matted hair. So the objective of this is to not look for somebody Devata with a matted hair. So we should not go and say that, okay, Rudram says that there are people with matted hair. So let me do Google search and then find out who are the Devatas with matted hair. No, there is no objective. What it says here is that all these are phenomenon. Whether you have hair, whether you don't have hair. It is still Bhagavan's Chittam. And some people are born like this, some people are without hair. They are just like that. So it has got nothing to do with the personality of the person, nor you have to look for this. It means that Bhagavan is present in every aspect of manifestation. That is how we should see it. You must not look for, oh, this is mattered people, so they are superior. No. It just gives a vision, saying that just like the Saspinjaraha Vriksheshuhu. Same way here, the range is given from completely bald person to a person who's got extremely locked, matted hair. So some of the rishis, they have long hair which is untied and they have got a lot of knotted hair. And then there are also people who have got jada. So all of them are included in this range. So Vishikasaha Kabartinaha. So the Bhutana Madhipatihi, he just elaborates by saying the attributes of Vishikasaha and Kabartinaha. Then Vriksheshu Saspinjaraha is enumerated by Nilagrivaha and Vilohitaha. So it just gives a drishtantam or just an example saying this is how it is. So you have to expand the vision to more than that. Just not live with that. Then Ye anneshu vividhyanti patreshu pibato janane. So there are Ye annaha, anna ishaha means there are also ishaha. Anneshu means there are some devatas present in your food, which you all know. So food also becomes annam also. Annam is also supposed to be food. Right? That's why in Taittiriya Upanishad we have annam nanindya. Annam nanindya tat pradam apova annam jyotirannadam. So annam nanindya means you must never do ninda for the food. Because food is something which you cannot create. You can only consume. In fact, you can never create anything with your capacity. Because everything is already given to you. What are you creating here? No, I am creating all these things. With what? You have been already given the body, you have been given the intellect, the buddhi, the knowledge has been given to you, the ingredients have been given to you, the rain has been given to you, wind has been given to you, land has been given to you, and you are only doing things. But what do? I create. So you become the creator there. So this is Ahankara. So thereby, in Taittiriya Upanishad says, Annam Nindhya Tat Vradham. I mean, this is my vratam that I will never waste food. In fact, my teachers used to tell me, Swami used to tell me, See, we can't even create a single grain of food. Single grain of rice we can't create. Because for the single grain, you are depending on so many factors. You have to have the arable land, number one. You need to have the right people to do that. The cow should be healthy. Then the right seed should be there for it to propagate. Rain should be there. Sunshine should be there. Then wind also should be there, because excessive wind also will blow the seeds away. Then the Bhagavan fire. So all these things are required for a person to succeed, right? And all of them are Devatas. They are all present in the entire structure, in the entire universe, in different corners. You do not know where they are. That's why he says, Anneshu, right? Anneshu Patreshu means what? Our food also can contain allergies. And these are Devatas sitting in the form of allergies. Correct. So some food you like, some food does not suit you at all. Some people have got allergy to peanuts. Some people have allergy to nuts. Some have got allergy to katrikai. You have a lot of people allergic to so many things. And these are all what? They are all Bhagavan. They are allergy itself is Bhagavan. That is how you see. If you have an allergy in your body, you do not criticize, you do not say it is Bhagavan's Chittam that I have got allergy. And it is something to do with the food I am eating or something from which I am drinking. So there are a lot of microbes or very tiny things which you cannot see, which are present in the food. The scientists can enumerate and say that the food which you are eating is not cleanly cooked. It is stale food. It is overly putrid, extremely salty, extremely pungent, too spicy, too salty. They all can contribute to allergy. They can all contribute to unhealthy eating things. So Sri Krishna Bhagavan talks about in chapter 17 all those things. He talks about elaborately about food itself. It's a whole chapter for food only. So why food is important? Because food determines our thinking process. If you eat an animal as your food, an animal is predominantly bestowed with tamasic nature. It has got no sattvic aspect at all. And a human being, if your diet is predominantly consisted of meat, then you are bound to become more rajasic and more tamasic only. You can never become sattvic. So one has to eat a variety of food where the sattvic element is extracted. Every food has got three elements: sattvaha, rajaha, and tamaha. So three gunas are there. The tamo guna makes you lethargic. Like if you eat the Punjabi food, some paneer or something, if you eat, and some kulcha, naan, etc., you eat at night, you feel the tamasic nature coming into you. You cannot walk, you cannot talk, you cannot breathe sometimes, you can't sleep because the food cannot even digest. So that also is Bhagavan there. So, anneshu patreshu. Patraha means from the utensil which you are having food, also has got Devatas. That is why we must not use another person's plate to eat the food. Neither you must eat from other person's plate. We have seen in India sometimes. People eat from, somebody's leftover food. The wife will eat from the food. Or the children's remaining one, the adult will eat the food. The concept is what? Not to waste food. But that is not the idea. The idea is that everybody's body, everybody's physiological functions are different. And there are hidden microbes present. And indirectly the food what you eat also gets poisoned or it gets contaminated. So the devatas are present in all these types of activities. The food you eat, the vessel you drink and what you drink also is present there. So pibato janana, pibatihi mean drink. Janana mean people. So the people who drink, these things can hurt you, correct? So the prayer is for Rudra to protect you from these types of food, which are allergic in nature, which are contaminated nature. The utensil you are using also should be protected, and also the water from which you are drinking also will be protected. So the prayer is for, before eating the food, at least Manasigama, you should do this. So you think about the Bhagavan so that the food becomes purified, sanctified, the drink or the water becomes sanctified. Then after that, it is Bhagavan Chittam. So it is all attitude. It is not said that if you do this, you will get this. Attitude is the biggest thing in Vedanta. A right attitude person has got, he will get everything what he wants. If you have the wrong attitude or if you have egoistic attitude, you will not be able to progress further. So attitude is very important. Karma yoga is an attitude. It's a discipline. It is the way you look at things. Same way here also, Anna doshaha, to protect from Anna doshaha. The anneshu patreshu pibato janan. Then, so ye vriksheshu saspinchara nilagriva vilohitaha ye bhutanam adipatayo vishika sakkabhartinaha ye anneshu vividhyante patreshu pibato janane. So that completes 5, 6 and 7 mantra. Then we go to mantra number 8 and 9. Ye patam padirakshaya aila briddha yavyudaha. Ye patam patirakshaya aila briddha yavyudaha. Ye tirtani pracharanti shrikhavanto nishanginaha. So those those paths. Patham means, pataha means, path means paths. Those paths or different paths. Ye patham means different paths. Then what? Patihi rakshayaha. Pati rakshayaha means patihi rakshayaha. So the people who are protecting the different paths. So you are going in a particular direction. Here the path does not mean you are going on a road. Typically it means that you are going on a road and you are worshipping Rudra for protection. But here the path represents the direction you are taking in your life. Are you going towards Laukika path or you are going to Vaidika path? Right? So Vaidika Margaha and Laukika Margaha. So Vaidika Margaha is all the studies that you do, rituals you do, prayers you do, worship you do, Shastra study you do, they are all Vaidika Margaha or Vaidika Pataha. So Pati Rakshayaha means the Rudras are there in that path also who protect people who go in that path. Then always you cannot be Vaidika. Sometimes you also do Laukika also. You cannot say that I'm only Vaidika, my only interest is only this. I don't want to talk to people. I do not want to be associated with anything else. It's not like this. Laukikam also is required. So you'll have to be part of society, you'll have to be playing a role to society, to your own children, to your wife, to your parent, whoever it is, you have to play a particular role. So Laukikam is also important. But Laukikam should not be the priority, and Laukikam should not be at the cost of Vaidika. So if you think that your Laukikam is taking over the Vaidikam, that means it is not the right path. So there are also devatas present there who lure you in that path, who take you, tempt you in that path. So there are some devatas who are there who are asking you to come to take that path. So you feel that you are pulled in one direction, whether you want it or not, you are already marching toward direction. That is because your satkarma, your good deeds which are there, they are being respected and the devatas are getting powerful and they pull you in the direction. So you are going there without making an effort, you're just dragging yourself there. Because the satkarma being there, the weaker karma or the Laukik karma is getting diminished. Doesn't mean that you're not there, you're still there. But it doesn't occupy that much importance before than now. So now you feel that I need to spend more time on this. So whether you like it or not, there is some change happening in your thinking process. And your path is now chosen by you. So this is called Vaidika Dharma, Vaidika path. And this Laukika also is there. In both the paths, you need protection. There are obstacles present in Laukikam also and Vaidikam also, correct? There's no guarantee that just because you are going to follow this particular marga, you are going to have a smooth ride. No. There will be headache. You will not be able to come to class particular day. You won't feel the need for it, or you're not interested. Somebody else will come. So there are all obstacles coming there. So you want to come, you want to learn, or you want to progress. But there are things which are more important, which you feel that has to be done first. So these are all the conflicting priorities which are there in everybody's life. So he says, Ye patam pati rakshayaha. So you protect me, being the patihi rakshayaha. So raksha, give me protection from both these paths and help me choose the right path. Aila Briddhaha. Aila Briddhaha means it is called food, or the person who is providing food is called Aila Briddhaha. Ira means food, and Aila also means food. So the people who are providing food are the Rudras or Devatas, correct? So they are the Devatas who are providing us food also. As I told you, food is the source of everything. Our entire body is made of food. There is nothing here other than food. We came from food. We were food before. We were eaten by people who are also food. Then from food you grew, you become knowledgeable, and then also you become food later. Right? That's why they got Anna Bhutani Jayante Yena Jatani Jivanti. So Anna Bhutani Jayante Yena Jatani Jivanti. So that which comes from food also goes back into as food. Right? So food is given important because that is what is the whole, everything is food, annam. So Aila Briddhaha means these devatas who provide food also need to be worshipped. So my respects to these devatas or Rudraha who are present as food and who are the giver of food. So my namaskaraha to them. So let the Rudras nourish us with the right type of food for us to proceed in the Vaidika Marga. So you have to eat the right type of food, correct? You have to ignore or resist from eating the wrong type of food and choose only the right type of food. Right? So, epatam pati rakshayaha, aila briddhaha. Then, yav yuddhaha, yav yuddham means devatas fight for you. So, it is not only devatas punish you or give you trouble by giving you food or contaminated food, because they are all possible. You get good food and bad food also. And it depends upon how you prepare the food also, what mindset you have in preparing the food. Because whenever you prepare a food, I'm pretty sure we all know that food also, preparation also is an attitude. If you prepare a food for a person as a pending job, sometimes we say, Danda shore vandutta appadimba. So if you prepare food like this, say varang. So you have a very lowly attitude for a food. So the food also will not be, first of all, number one, your attitude in presenting food also is not right. And your own personality or the way you think also transmit to the food. And the person eating the food also has impact. That is why a wise person or a jnani, a wise person, chooses where to eat food also. He or she does not go and eat food at everybody's house. Just because somebody is inviting, they do not just go and consume food. They have an idea about the type of person he is, how Vaidika is or Avaidika is, and how spiritually inclined he is. See, really speaking, it doesn't affect the wise person, honestly. See, a sannyasini or sannyasi, if you invite to your house, and if you prepare a food which is inferior in quality, or if you serve the food in the most, not in the best manner, you would say, the papam does not go to the jnani, to the wise person. The papam goes to you because the sannyasi or the wise person is already free from all these things. He doesn't get affected by any of these things. Also, when you prepare extremely good food, good hospitality, and you really take care of this wise person very well, the blessing also goes to you. The blessing does not go to the person who is actually eating the food or you are providing facility. So the papam goes to you, the blessing also goes to you. So which one you prefer? The blessing is important. Right? That is why he says here that these devatas are present as your blessing and they fight. Yudaha. So yav yudaha means they protect you from papas. So yav yudaha, yav means papams. So yudaha means yuddham. They perform yuddham against the papa karmas. The people who do papa karmas or papas, they protect you from them. Or they warn you that don't go there, don't do this. So there is a internal warning. Every person knows whether he only knows or she knows whether he or she is doing right or wrong. Is it correct? It doesn't require intelligence. You cannot say that I don't know I'm doing right or wrong. You definitely know about it. See, Duryodhana also knew that he's doing wrong. He knew about it. But he is not able to control himself because he didn't have the vivekam, he doesn't have the interest to do anything. Correct. So every person knows the right and the wrong, and Bhagavan is there, they're pointing out there. So whenever you feel that I'm doing right, Bhagavan is there, Rudra is there. Whenever you see that I'm doing wrong thing, Rudra is there. So he says, Yav Yudaha, this battle is actually not outside. This battle is actually inside our own personality. Daily you fight among the right thing and the bad thing, right thing and the bad thing. So the right things are more, that means the the internal, the devatas are actually helping you to become more wiser and then remove all the papa karmas or reduce the papa karmas. So yavyudaha. Then ye tirthani pracharanti. So tirthaha means a place where Rudras are also avoiding tirthaha, means pilgrimage places. So you go to temples, you go to any place which is auspicious. So in those places also Rudras are there. So they are all present there also. That's why we go to temples sometimes. And visiting temple is a good thing, not a bad thing, because the vibe from the temple is very good. And whenever a temple is, created or made, it is made as per the Vastu. And there are so many mantras being chanted and so many devatas are actually moving around. Or there's a good energy which is there. So you want to be among the good energy. See, for a wise person doesn't matter, because a wise person doesn't have the energy is him. There's really no energy outside of anybody else. But if you really want to be having the good vibes, and if you're starting the journey, then this tirthaha also is called pracharantihi. Charatihi means the one who is going around. Right? Pracharanti shukavantaha nishanginaha. So shukavantaha means those people who have got nishanginaha means sword. And sharp-edged weapons. Shukavantaha. Sharp-edged weapons. So the weapons are really what? They are weapons. There's nothing really weapon. The weapon of Bhagavan is what? Extreme heat, extreme cold, extreme rain, extreme wind, poverty, famine, disease, epidemic, pandemic. All these things are all weapons. The Bhagavan fights or uses these to fight the adharmis. In the process of fighting this, some good people are also affected by this. So one may say, how come the Bhagavan is punishing me when I have not done anything? It is the way the law and order gets corrected in this manner. So you, by seeing the effect of this, you have respect that yes, it is possible that I may have this again. So I must be very careful. I must not transgress the dharma. So all these things which you see, the bushfire, all these things, so many things happening in the world. It is only Bhagavan's weapons. We should see the Bhagavan in all of them. This is how the Bhagavan takes revenge, or this is how the Bhagavan actually creates fear in you for doing adharmic activities. Those activities which are not supported in the Vedas, the Vedic way of life. So, ye tirthani pracharanti shukavantaha nishanginaha. So, the prayer is for Rudras. Please keep these weapons away. So, the literal meaning of weapons is that they are sharp-edged weapons. They are swords. But in reality, we should see this as anything, any phenomenon which you see is a weapon, is a ayudham. So, yavyudaha tirthani pracharanti shukavantaha nishanginaha. Is it clear? Okay. Then, number 10. Ya etavantascha bhuyaguscha disho rudhrabitastire teshagum sahasayojane vadanvani tanmasi. Ya etavantascha bhuyaguscha disho rudhrabitastire teshagum sahasayojane vadanvani tanmasi. So, Yaha etavantaha means these many Rudras, there are many Rudras are there. These many Rudras are And how? Bhuya Guscha means more and more. So they are not just many, there are many, many more which are there. And how are they? Dishaha. So they are in all directions. And Rudraha Vitastirehe. They are spread in all directions. So what it means is that when you say Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha in Purusha Suktam, it says that the Bhagavan has got 1,000 heads. So 1,000 is just a number given for infinity. You can't count 1,000. It means what? 1,000 is given a number to express that he has got 1,000 heads. So 1,000 heads means what? He can see every direction. His head is positioned everywhere. Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrabat Sabhubim Vishwato Bhrutva Atyatishta Dashangulam. So Atyatishtaha Dasha Angulaha. So this Bhagavan who is established, who is actually above by 10 Angulaha. Above Srishti by 10 Angulaha. So 10 Angulam means Angulaha, right? This is 1 Angul, correct? So he is above Srishti. So he is actually not part of Srishti, he is beyond Srishti. That's what it means. So we'll see Purusha Suktam in detail next time we start. I'm just giving a hint about how it is. So Dasha Angulaha, when you say Nabhyat Asit Antariksham. Hope you know this. Nana Suktam. Nabhyat Asit Antariksham Srishma Dhyau Samavartatha. Correct. So Nabhyat Asit Antariksham means from the Nabi of the Bhagavan, the Antariksham came to existence. So Brahmaji also came from the Nabi of Mahavishnu, who is supposed to be the creator, who is supposed to be the whole Prapancha creation itself came from Vishnu. And from the Nabi of the Bhagavan, of the Purushaha, came this Brahmaji, who is the creator of the universe, right? Vishwasya Karta, Bhunasya Gopta. Brahmaji. So Yo Devanam Pratamaha Brahma Sambhabhuva Vishwasya Karta Bhunasya Gopta. This is Mundaka Upanishad. So Yo Devanam Pratamaha Brahma Sambhabhuva. Of all the Devas who came, Brahma Sambhabhuva. And who is he? Vishwasya Karta Bhunasya Gopta. So the Karta of the Vishwaha and the protector of the universe is Brahmaji. Bhunasya Gopta. So Atyatishta Dasha Angulaha, when you say here, it means that this Bhagavan is actually above Srishti. He is actually not part of Srishti. He is distinct from Srishti, but not distant from Srishti. Same here also. Etavantascha bhuya guscha disho rudraha vitastire. So these rudras are present in every direction, every place, every nook and corner. So in yesterday's class, when I asked you a question, where is Ishvara? Somebody says, where is God? So it says, show me where is God. So what do we say? We don't say where is God. Where God is not, we answer. So when you say where God is not, you tell me. Then that means your vision is complete. So you see that you're not looking for God anymore. You are saying, categorically saying that where God is not there. God is everywhere. The same thing here also. The etavantascha bhuya guscha disho rudra vitastire. Teshagum sahasra yojanaha means yojana means miles. Thousands of miles. 1,000 miles called yojanaha. So sahasraha means 1,000 miles. Dhanvani Dhanmasi. So it means Dhanvaha means all these bows. And Avatanmasi means make sure that you have those bows untied. It means what? The Rudras are there everywhere. Bhagavan is there everywhere. I want them to be not to be punishing us. I want them to be friendly to us. You do not want to be on the wrong side of the Bhagavan, correct? So when you say Dhanvani Dhanmasi, you must take it as Dhanuhu means bow. And the bow of the Bhagavan is nothing but dharma. And the arrow which is used is called the Lakshaha or the result. So the punishment is given or the effect is given using the arrow. Right? So once the arrow is lodged onto the bow and you pull the bow and the arrow is released, you cannot stop the arrow from stopping anywhere. You cannot go and catch halfway saying that let me go and catch the arrow. Once the arrow is left, it has to hit a target. It may be the right target, the wrong target. So he says, do not do this. Or I want you to make sure that you are always with us. And even though you spread everywhere, I'm worshipping as Bhagavan. I do not want to be facing the wrath of the Bhagavan or the wrong side of the Bhagavan. So it's a prayer. So etavantascha bhuya guscha disho ruddha vitastire teshagum sahassayo jane vadanvani tanmasi. Is it clear? Okay. Then mantra number 11 is to be chanted for getting prosperity. Everything is for prosperity only. But mantra number 11 is a method of chanting where there are people who are upasakas or they follow a particular strict method of chanting and who are only doing Rudra Japam or Rudra Abhishekam, they only do this. For such a person, a method is given here. So one has to take a vow in this chanting that they have to live on milk only for 5 days. First 5 days, they are only consume milk. Only milk. No rice, no rasam, no togel, all these things. Only milk you have to consume. And not, when you say milk means you cannot just drink 5-6 liters of milk. It will become, body will not be accepting. You have to drink milk means you have to drink enough to keep your body sustaining. See, all these things which is said here, it is required for you to eat the amount of food required for you to sustain the body to do what you want to do. And what is it? Vaidika karma, Vaidika path, correct? So for that, you don't need a lot of food. If you want to use your energy brain, you don't need to consume so much of food. 4 course varieties of food, sweets, desserts, all of them, just keep on loading. You don't need that. You just need enough food to sustain your body functions, able to talk, you don't feel tired. So eat the right type of food. So it says here, first 5 days, the sadhaka, the upasaka, who wants to benefit from this number 11, he has to drink only milk for 5 days. Then on fruit for the next 5 days. So milk is gone, now fruit come, only fruit. Then on curd for the next 5 days. And then finally on the 20th day, you again have milk on the final day. On the 21st day, you must not have anything at all. You must do complete patni. No milk, no curd, no fruit, nothing. You just have to be, this is for the body to rest. So it comes back, right? Then one should do japaha. So the 5 days you do milk, you do japam. Next 5 days you take fruit, you do japam. The next 5 days you do curd, take curd, do japam. Then the 20th day you have milk, only milk, and then do japaha. 21st day, you don't drink anything at all, eat anything at all, then you do japaha. If you do this, it says that you'll get prosperity. As I told you, it is all for people who have belief in this, or people who want to follow this particular karma kandis. They are all karma kandis. So karma kandis are different from jnana kandis. So the people who follow vice or jnanam is different from the people who follow karma. This is prescribed for the people who want to follow that particular ritual. So if you want to do this, you have to follow this ritual. This is what is said in the Shastra. That this particular 11th mantra has to be chanted in a particular method, and for that you have to follow this particular ritual. Whether you follow or not is up to you. Can you live on fruit for 5 days? Can you just live on milk for 5 days? You can live. You can, nothing wrong with that. You can have, glass of milk in the morning, afternoon glass of milk in the morning, evening. Your body will get used to it. But whether you want to follow that path is something you have to ask. Whether I want to follow that path. How long will I do that? How many years will I do that? When will I stop doing this? If I stop, what will happen to me? Can I do this continuously for a lengthy period of time? If I'm 70 years, can I still do this? What if I don't do this? Shastram says if you don't do this, Papa will come to you. Correct? Pratyavaya doshaha. Pratyavaya doshaha means the doshaha which comes to you by non-performing of duties, of rituals. So this also is there. So remember, karma kanda is not easy. If you want to follow that path of karma kanda, it is ridden with so many rules and regulations and rituals that you have to follow exactly what is said there. And we all know that we cannot follow any of them systematically for a lengthy period of time. Is it right? We cannot say that because that is how it is. Someday we'll drop this. No. Veil, kulur, mara, whatever it is there, you have to stand and do, you have to do it. And you cannot compromise on anything. So if you have Jnana Kanda, nothing. You can just be free. It doesn't say anything about it. Because Jnana ultimately is superior to karma. But here, this mantra talks about this. So let's look at this. Okay, I think we'll complete this today, but we'll just start with this. Namo Rudrebhyo ye Prithivyam ye Antarikshe ye Divi ye Shamannam. Up to this, okay. Namo Rudrebhyo. So salutation to those Rudraha. Rudrebhyo means to all the Rudrahas. Correct? And who are there? Prithivyam, who exists on the earth. Then, ye Antarikshe. So there are Rudras present in the Antariksha also, the middle space. Then, ye Divi. Those exist in Swargaha. So there are Devatas in Swargaha. They are Devatas in the earth. They are also Devatas present in the middle space, Antarikshaha. So, my Namaskaraha to or Namo Rudrebhyaha to those Prithivihi, Antarikshaha, Divihi, and Yeshaha Annam, Yesham Annam. Yesham Annam becomes Yeshaha Annam. And those food, Vataha, wind, Varshaha, rain. Then Varshaha, then Ishavaha, the arrows. So the rains which are coming, they are very sharp. So sometimes the rains are very, very heavy rains. It can affect your body also, correct? Then to those Rudraha, so Tebhyaha. So Tebhyaha means Rudrebhyaha, Tebhyaha. So those phenomenon. What are the phenomenon? The people, the devatas present in the Prithvi, in Antarikshaha, in the Swargaha, Divihi, and Yeshaha Annam. They are present in the food. Vataha, present in the wind. And the devatas present in the rains. And also the sharpness of the rain. Ishavastaha. Ishavaha means the arrows. So the rains have sometimes got very sharp rains. You'll see that sometimes, sometimes. If the rains are very sharp, and you will see that very, very heavy downpour can sometimes, cause problems also. Even a roof sometimes can get collapsed. Because the raindrops which is coming from the Bhagavan is very, very sharp and very, very strong. So it's called Ishavaha. So Varsham, Ishavaha, Tebhyaha. So to those Bhagavan. Correct? Then Dashaha means, that is the method. Dashaha means 10 fingers. Dashaha. So what do you do with 10 fingers? You do worship to the 4 direction. Right? So Sandhyavandanam people do, they know. Sandhya Namaha, Savitri Namaha, correct? How do you do that? You do, right? 10 fingers, correct? So you do this, Prache, Padiche, Udiche, you do that, right? So what? It's all directions. The 4 directions, you are protecting yourself. What you are trying to do is that you are protecting yourself from all the 4 directions where there are present problems can come. Same here also, Dasha Prachihi. Okay. So Dasha Prachihi, Dasha Dakshinaha means south. Pratichihi, Dasha Pratichihi, west. And Udichihi, north. So Dasha Dakshinaha means 10 different directions. Dasha Pratichihi means with 10 fingers you are worshipping. This is all Kayikam. Correct? So they are actions being done by Kayikam karma. And when you're chanting mantra also, it becomes Vachikam also. So there are 2 things happening. Correct? One thing is there is a physical action being done, and this mantra also being chanted. So Sandhyavandana mantra when you do in the morning, right? After doing Uttama Shikare Devi, you do that, right? You do. Hope you know that mantra. If you're not doing a different thing. But I'm sure Sriramji is doing it, of course. Srikanji, I don't know. Srivatsa also will be doing that. And Sridhar also should be doing that. But what it means is there are 4 directions being worshipped. So Prache, Dakshina, Padiche, Udiche, Urdhvaya, Adaraya, Antarikshaya, Bhumya. Correct? So it means what? All Bhumyaha, Antarikshaha. Correct? So there also comes here. Say Antarikshaha also comes there. Bhumi also comes there. Antarikshaha, Divihi, Prithivya. So what you are saying in Gayatri is not different from Rudra. It is only that when you understand the meaning of this, you understand that also understand. Oh, now I'm doing this because, oh, Rudram also says the same thing. So now you understand the meaning of Sandhyavandanam also. So your Shraddha becomes more now. Oh no, I only know Rudram. I don't know Sandhyavandanam. But if you know both, you appreciate the beauty of what is said in Rudram is not different from what is said in Gayatri Mantra. There also you are asking for protection. Correct? So when you go to south, you pray for Yamaha. Correct? So what do you pray for? So we protect. So from Mrityu. Same thing here also. Dasha Prachihi, Dasha Dakshinaha, Dasha Pratichihi, Dasha Udichihi. Correct. Then urdvaha, dasha urdvaha. So urdvaya namaha, adharaya namaha. Same urdvaha. So you have to break this. When they chant together, they chant very fast. Very fast. You can't even understand what they're talking about sometimes. Okay. Now we'll finish shortly now. Maybe 5 minutes, and then we'll finish it. So as I told you, like I can't complete this one, but you have an idea about the worship is for the Bhagavan, which is seen in all directions. So we will continue this class, the next one, where we again go through the same mantra and we see how you really appreciate the Bhagavan or how you see the Bhagavan. Very important. Any questions from today's class anyone has got? All good?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Any questions from your side? All okay? Vaji, you're okay?
Yeah, I was just thinking in that Teshagum Sahasra Yojane.
Yeah.
In my book, it says Avadnavani.
Correct. Avadhanmani.
Avadhanvani, I'm sorry. Avadhanvani Tanmasi.
Correct.
Okay.
Avatanmani Tanmasi. It means
Okay,
what?
okay.
We make. Avatanmani means we make them. So Avatanmani Tanmasi. That is how it is said.
Okay.
When you chant together, it becomes Avatanmani Tanmasi, but Avatanmani Tanmasi.
Okay.
That is correct.
Thanks.
Srivatsa, any questions? I think you came a bit late. Sorry, Srivatsa, we're starting at 7:30. I forgot to tell you, or I don't know if you saw the message.
No, I saw it a bit late. I thought there was a class at 7 o'clock, which continues till 7:30, so I got confused.
No. 7:30 is this class. Thursday class is 7:30.
Okay. Yeah.
So we will only for Thursday we'll do 7:30. Just because I think we've got people in New Zealand who are coming also. For them, it becomes very late for them. Like if you start at 8 o'clock, it is 10 o'clock already for them. So we thought half an hour we'll just give them break a little bit earlier, so that they can.
Okay.
Soumya ji, you're okay so far? Okay. Okay. So with this, we'll stop the class here. And if you've got any questions, we'll continue for next class. Is it okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste. Shubhrat.